Hi everybody, it's Janet. Garden time with Janet at the Garden of Hope. So our garden is really growing well. Over here are all the potatoes came up. My daughter Alyssa put those potatoes in. And all the parsnips went to seed. Those were from last year and I wanted them to go to seed so I could get some seeds for planting for next year. And back here is all the little plants that had no place to go, and I stuck them all in and hope they'll grow. I have collard greens and tomatillos and dill and carrots and a tomato there. And over here collards and more tomatillos, some herbs, green onion, hot pepper, tons of tomatoes, more collard greens. These are pole beans. I know my daughter thought they were bean poles, but they're pole beans. And here is a watermelon patch that's going to come up, and I threw a little hot pepper plant in there. There's some basil coming up, some more watermelon. I'll probably transplant all the watermelon to a mound. There's tomatillo, more watermelon, tomatillo, watermelon, tomatillo, watermelon, a little tiny tomato plant, some cilantro, a whole bunch of squash, which I'm going to transplant all around the garden. Some more squash, zucchini. Oh, check this out. All of Alyssa put those sweet peas in, and they're all like over a foot high now. And a whole row of arugula along the side of that. And so I'm pretty happy with that. And these are all, pole beans that are going to go up this really good fence. And we'll hold them up. And we'll get a nice crop out of that. Over here, I let the cilantro go to seed for next year, so the flowers bring in the pollinators, and here are the seeds now. Once those get a little browned, I'm going to cut all this off and put them in a garbage bag, and all the seeds drop to the bottom, and I can collect all the seeds. And then I have more cilantro growing around there. Now these are all kale from last year, and I let them go to seed. So you see how the seeds are turning brown now. Once they're really brown, then I'll do the same thing with those. I'll tear them out and put them in a bag and get 1,000,000 kale seeds out of that. So here's some more pole beans coming up, and sage, lots of sage. Little tomatoes coming up. Got a cilantro rose here. We've got one butternut squash and one zucchini, some spinach, hot pepper, a little broccoli over there, some broccoli over there, tomatillo, more bush beans. And I had a hole in the middle of my bush beans, so I put that butternut squash because I can run the squash in between the rows of the beans. So I try to make use of every square inch of my place. And these are small eggplants that came very last minute. They were in bad shape, but I stuck them in anyway. These are red beans. They're really beautiful, and they're going to get huge. They come up high. And these are these purple tomatoes. They all came up pretty good. And so that's the name of my story today. And this thing keeps growing, and it's a lot of work. Spent the entire day here today just maintaining the property and making sure everything was at its best, and watered because it was supposed to storm, and it keeps thundering, but it never storms. So I did it myself.